Good afternoon, YouTubers. Welcome back into another edition of Astros Recap. David Artis here. It is Tuesday, August 23rd, 4:34 p.m. So yes, I am a day late. Astros play in about 2.5 hours here. So yes, I am a little bit behind. Lost track of time last night, and I I messed up. Usually the Astros have an off day like they did have yesterday. I will wait for that Monday to do it if I don't have a lot of things to do. But yeah, things sort of just didn't plan as I thought they would yesterday. So I'm here now. We'll try to break things down here for you. Astros did not have a good week, so full 7-day, game week for them. Usually, if they have 7 games, you shoot for 5-2. At least that's sort of the goal I set for them: 5-2, win the 2 series. It's usually a 4-game set, 3-game set. So the Astros go 3-4. So not devastating, but not good either. Really, the big story of the week, and I'll point out one thing: for those of you that watch the games, will know it was pretty obviously the bullpen failed them. In all their games they lost, the bullpen played a pretty big part, especially on Monday and Tuesday. So as we look at this, that's the big thing that we'll look at. I'm not even going to blame the offense, which is something we can do because the offense isn't as deep. They do have some, not great games. We'll talk about that as well because, you're scoring 2, 3 runs. That's usually not good enough. But the bullpen is the big talking point, at least this week. So as we dive into things here, Monday and Tuesday. So I think about worst losses of the season. Monday would fall into the category, and it actually wasn't a player's fault. Now you can blame Rafael Montero, who actually came in to blow that game, but I will blame the one and only Dusty Baker. He deserves 100% of Monday's loss. I put 100% of the blame on Dusty Baker because you had Jose Urquidy rolling right along. He's into the 8th inning. Pitch count's not very high. He's at 94 pitches, but he just got 2 outs. So now he's at 94 pitches. You're probably not bringing him out for the 9th, so let him get to the 8th here now. The Astros at this point lead this game 2-0, so the offense hasn't done a lot. They scored their 2 runs, I think, in the first inning, so they really hadn't scored since that point. But we were rolling along. Urquidy was in a rhythm. He gave up with 2 outs in the 7th, or the 8th, I should say. Pitch count's still low, mind you here. Not super low, but low enough to where, he needs 1 more out to get through 8 shutout innings. But he gives up a little dribbler. I want to say this was Yohan Moncada. I could be wrong, but a little dribbler down the third base line that Bregman couldn't get to in time to make the play. He actually could have made the play, but it wasn't like an easy chance for Bregman. But it was just a little dribbler, like soft contact, down the third base line. Bregman wasn't able to make the play. Easily a hit. And then they turn the lineup over, so you are now actually facing these guys, starting to, for the 4th time. I believe, 4th time sounds right. But Urquidy sits here. He's gotten through 2 outs in the 8th inning. He's at 94 pitches. He's facing the leadoff man. I believe this is Andrew Vaughn, by the way, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against Urquidy thus far. But Dusty, for some reason, feels like I got to take him out right here, right now. Mind you, there's 2 outs in the inning. He's at 94 pitches. I see Dusty walking to the dugout and doesn't even, doesn't want to have a conversation about it. Doesn't want to talk to him or Maldonado, see how he's feeling. He makes the move very quickly. He puts the hand out. Urquidy gives him the ball. And here comes Montero. Mind you, Montero, the previous day, which was Sunday, was not very good. And he couldn't get through the 9th inning. They had to bring in Presley to shut the door. So, as this decision is being made, I'm shaking my head already, and sure enough, Montero comes in. He is helpless out there. So not only does Dusty go to Montero, who did not have a good outing, basically 30 hours, prior to this call, or 30 hours prior, or last pitched. So he's going to a guy on back-to-back days who did not have a good day yesterday, and he doesn't even bother to at least have backup. If you bring in a bullpen pitcher in a tight game that clearly doesn't have it, which was obvious after 2-3 batters, but Dusty has nobody else warming up. So he was wrong on so many levels in this game. And he deserves 100% of the blame. Now, I have not been on this podcast all year, and I have not blamed Dusty Baker for a lot. Now, I think he makes questionable decisions in the bullpen, and usually you can get away with a lot of questionable decisions in the bullpen. A.J. Hinch did his entire tenure. He got away with a bunch of stupid decisions he made bullpen-wise. Dusty's also done that. But this one was clearly on Dusty. There's no reason to take out, let Urquidy get through the inning, or at least get him one more hitter. If he gives up a single to Vaughn, maybe you have a little bit of maybe you have a point there, but he needs one out. He's at 94 pitches. He gets through 8, then you sort of can go to Montero. If he blows in the 9th inning, I'm not upset. But there was no reason, absolutely zero. I just don't understand what goes through people's heads sometimes. So yeah, that one hurt, and it hurt because of Dusty Baker. I can live with a decision being made that I'm fine with that doesn't work out. But it's hard for me to stomach losses where the manager was 100% the reason. People can try to defend it all they want. One thing I wanted to see, and actually Dusty did do this, I wanted Dusty to get up in the postgame. I don't like his press conferences because I feel like Dusty doesn't usually tell you a whole lot. Like, it's a whole lot of nothing, basically, most of the time. So I don't even like listening to Dusty in the postgame press conference. But I wanted him to say one thing, and that was, I screwed this up. This is on me, 100%. And he actually said, you can put the blame on me. So at least I was okay with him saying that. I didn't want him to get up at the podium and be like, well, yeah, Urquidy was, felt like it was the right move, and it didn't work out. No. It was the wrong move. It didn't work out, and it's your fault. That's what he should have said. He sort of took accountability for it. So, but yeah, that loss was Dusty Baker. The Tuesday game, another heartbreaking loss. The Astros were up 3-1. Verlander was pitching. This was the pitch of the Dylan Cease against Justin Verlander, the good, pitching matchup there. And we actually got to Cease. I mean, we touched him up for 3 runs. So we actually, Cease hadn't given up more than an earned run in like 20 straight starts, whatever it was. He hadn't given up more than 1 earned run. So I'll look at the box score here real quick. Gave up 3 earned runs in 5 innings. They also got his pitch count up there. So the Astros bats did get to Cease. Verlander had given up 1 run early and then sort of settled in, but he ran into some trouble, I believe, in the 7th inning. Gave up a 2-run double, I want to say, to tie the game at 3. So we sort of, and then Hector Neris comes in. I think he walked the first batter, which was the first, yeah. Now, with 2 outs, runner on third, he gave up a little bloop single that just found its way into the vacated center field, shallow part of that field. So it wasn't like it was a sharply hit base hit, but he still walked. This was Yoan. Well, I think Moncada had the hit, but whatever he did, you walk the first guy, you're playing with fire. So Neris, who we'll also talk about later, not been that good. Not been that good at all. So Neris, yeah. Not a lot of guys, like I said, bad week for the bullpen. So Neris, yeah, blew that one. So Dusty blew Mondays, Neris sort of blew Tuesdays, but you can also throw Verlander in there now. Usually if you go 7 innings and you give up 3 runs, that's a good start. So I can't put a lot of blame on Verlander there, but he did give up the 2 runs that tied the game. But I can't sit here and blame Verlander. It was Neris who gave up, walked a guy, and that's a recipe for a run when you walk the leadoff guy and you come out of the bullpen. So yeah, but Monday and Tuesday were tough losses to stomach. I could deal with Tuesday a little bit more than Mondays, but yeah. So off, to a bad start. Now they do bounce back Wednesday, Thursday, win those 2 games. So Wednesday was another sort of, it was setting up. like the same scenario, the same one-run tough type ball game as Mondays and Tuesdays, but we were able to close the door there. Stanek got the eighth inning. Stanek hasn't been great either. He puts runners on base, walks people. He's basically, I think it's Stanek, he's a two-pitch pitcher. He throws a fastball in the upper 90s, and he throws is it a split finger or something like that? He needs both of his pitches to work for him to be good. If he can't command one, he's not very good. So, Stanek, you'll look at the ERA, it's at 1.09 after this game, which is good. He's not good when he comes in mid-inning with runners on base, so his inherited runners rate is not good. He allows a lot of those people to score, so obviously that doesn't affect his ERA. So, yeah. But getting the win Wednesday was big. Presley did a good job shutting the door there. Let me move this camera a little bit here. Looks like it's sagging a little bit there. All right, there we go. Also, one more thing while I'm thinking about this. My eyes. I just went to the eye doctor and they dilated my eyes. So I know I'm not opening them fully. Trying to now, but my pupils are dilated. So that if my pupils, I don't know with the lighting if you can see, but my pupils right now are ginormous because they just dilated my eyes. So just to throw that out there. Just thought I would. But yeah, winning the tight one-run game Wednesday was good, and then Thursday the bats broke out. They scored 21 runs. I won't really get into that. Garcia started this game. Pretty easy to get the win. Yeah, Garcia, I feel like this year has benefited from more run support than most of our pitchers. You could say the same for Urquidy as well, but yeah, I mean, when you get 21 runs of support, you just got to get through 5 innings, which is exactly what he did, I think. So he wasn't great. He gave up 3 earned runs. Kind of hard to look at this as him. But yeah. ERA is at 4.09 for Garcia, so it's not that great. Was he 10-8 on the year? Look at this. Maton came in, gave up a run. Will Smith, not very good thus far. Gave up an earned run. 2 walks. Maton also gave up 2 walks. But Abreu and Montero came in and they pitched well. So Abreu needs to get more opportunities. He pitched his 1 inning and struck out the side. Like Abreu, I don't know why, Dusty for some reason loves Phil Maton. Because I see Maton out there, like I feel at least 2-3 times a week. And I'll be lucky to see Abreu once. We need more Abreu, less of Maton going forward. He's proven that he's better. And Maton after this game, and we'll look at this, 3.99 Abreu ERA, 3.99 for Maton, Abreu at 2.34. That's all you need to know right there. And Abreu strikes out people. Maton doesn't necessarily do that. So yeah. Abreu's better. He's been better. Dusty needs to realize that and start using Abreu more. We'll keep an eye on that going forward. But we won that game easily. Will Smith, by the way, since coming over, has not been very good. He's been in 5 or 6 games. I think in about 4 of them he's given up a run. Now, it hasn't affected the Astros because he hasn't been put in a spot where it's been high leverage, where we need a solid, scoreless inning. So I'm not killing Will Smith at this point, but Dusty, I mean, we've seen Will Smith. He hasn't been that good. It's just that simple. ERA's over 4. It's not good. We'll keep an eye on that as well in terms of the bullpen. But winning the game, couldn't be too upset. You roll into Atlanta Friday. Lance McCullers start. He did not go very far. Was not very good. Not horrendously bad. As I look at this here, give me 1 second. Pull up that box score. Friday there. McCullers numbers for you. 5 innings. 7 hits. Not very good. 3 earned runs. 3 walks. 6 strikeouts. Yeah. That sounds like a McCullers start. He gave up the 1 3-run home run to Austin Riley. The Astros fought back, got within a run, but then, Phil Maton comes in and does his thing and gives up 3 earned runs of his own, and that put it out of reach. That ERA for Maton after that game, rose to 4.47. Will Smith came in, actually pitched a scoreless inning, but walked a guy, gave up a hit. So even when Will Smith has had scoreless outings, he puts his fair share of runners on base and has to work out of it. But ERA for Will Smith at 4.43. Only two guys in the bullpen with ERAs over 4 are those two, Phil Maton and Will Smith. Now Neris went in, pitched a scoreless inning, gave up a hit, struck out a guy, but at that point we were down 4, lost that game 6-2. Saturday was another tough loss, third of the week for the Astros, as they went back and forth with Atlanta into extra innings. Jail. Not a whole lot of offense as... Who started this game here? If I can find it for the Braves, it was Strider. That guy was... Spencer Strider was just rolling. That dude was just killing the Astros for as long as he was. Like Pena hit a home run off of him, but that was all they scored. Now Javier matched him pitch to pitch, so Javier was pitching well, and we get a 2-run lead actually in extra innings in the 10th. And guess who comes in to blow it? This was Hector Neris again, blowing it. So let me pull this back up here. Usually, you get that ghost runner second when you get the extra innings, so I'm probably alone. I'm in the minority on this take. I do like the extra inning rule. I know people don't, but I don't like to sit around for, 17, 18 innings when there's no action, which could very well be the case. So putting the runner second makes the game more interesting in the way you sort of try to, sacrifice, if you choose to do so. A lot of teams don't, but I would consider it in some spots. But, Javier was great. Only, 6 innings, but only 1 earned run. ERA's under 3 at 2.88, so Javier's pretty good. Abreu had the lone guy in the bullpen once again who had the good inning, which was the 7th. He actually gave up a hit, but got through it. No issues there. Montero, who ran into issues, walked 2 guys, but also got a big double play. Presley was good. That was sort of an interesting move by Dusty. Not killing him for that, but usually on the road you try to save your closer, so if you get the lead, you can protect it. But I didn't, you want to use your closer to keep the game at where it's at. I don't have a big issue with that. But yeah, Neris and Stanek both blew to save. Neris worked with a 2-run lead. Gave up 2 runs. 1 was earned. 2 hits. Struck out a guy, but blew it. Neris, again, 3.42 ERA. And then Stanek blew it also. He gave up 2 runs. 1 was earned. He walked 2 guys. That's usually Stanek's issue. Stanek doesn't necessarily give up a bunch of base hits, but he gives up walks, which leads to issues. So yeah, Neris, Stanek. I trust Stanek a little bit more these days, but still, yeah. And then Sunday they were able to salvage the game, so that was, I guess, better. Jordan had a big 2-run base hit. Kyle Tucker drove in the winning runs. Presley wasn't solid in his save opportunity. He gave up 2 runs, but just walking out of Atlanta with a win was nice. So you got the off day today. They're back home. Minnesota for 3, Baltimore for 3. The return of Carlos Correa. We got Verlander on the mound tonight, so should be looking good. But quick standings update to the Astros now, obviously. Still lead their division, obviously. By 11.5 games. Seattle's lost 2 in a row. Astros 78 and 45. So yeah, 78-45. Yankees have struggled. Now, the Yankees won yesterday. They also won Sunday, so they won back-to-back games. Before that, they had been abysmal. Astros still lead the American League by 3 games, so look good there. Got to continue to win. Also own that tiebreaker over the Yankees, so even if it was tied, we would still sort of, own that, first number 1 seed there in the AL. So trying to think there, wrap things up. Bullpen very shaky, very unsafe with the bullpen these days. We'll see how things work out. I'd like to see Abreu a little bit more. Montero, had a rough 2 games there, but he did pitch well. Bounce back the last few outings, so that's good for Montero. So I'd feel pretty good with him after he had his, he was abysmal on Monday and the Sunday prior to that, the day before. But he'd been in 3 games since, and he's been pretty solid, so I'd be okay with Montero. But Stanek, not so much. Neris, absolutely not. Presley's been fine. I'm okay with him. But more Abreu. We need to see more Abreu, and I'm not comfortable with Will Smith or Phil Maton. So that's where I'm at with the bullpen right now. But yeah, hopefully the offense can keep it up. I mean, they didn't, aside from Thursday's game, they didn't do a whole lot. Monday and Tuesday they could have scored more to give the Astros a bigger cushion. But again, I'm not going to blame the offense too much right now. We'll see what McCullers continues to do. One good start, one not so good start, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm coming up. I don't like to go over 20 minutes here, so we'll wrap things up there. Off day yesterday, so the Astros got 6 games before another Monday off day. So, but yeah, we'll wrap things up there. Give you 2 hours to watch this thing. Hopefully, I get this uploaded quickly. But I know I was late, so I apologize for all that. But yeah, love to hear your thoughts. Comment section below. Like the video, share with your friends, all that good stuff there is to do on YouTube. But I will talk to you most likely on Monday, and we'll see you then.